Embarrassing doesn't begin to cut it for Bethesda anymore. Now I like to think it's just downright boring. It is boring how this company, who has no regard for their fans whatsoever, continues to operate at its current state. It's boring how they continue to exploit and rip off their own players, and in all honesty, it's kind of boring how they're still considered a big name in gaming. They really hit two birds with one stone recently. One bird was the disastrous launch of the Fallout 4 remaster, in which they generously made it more expensive than the original game and added paid mods that are currently not working. On top of that, they also added a free update to the base game of Fallout 4, which completely broke it for many players, with some not even being able to exit the game. Bird number 2 is when Mr. Todd Howard himself sat down with GQ magazine. To celebrate Skyrim's anniversary, it should have been a celebration, however it somehow more felt like a funeral. To put it simply, he said that the Elder Scrolls 6 is nowhere near being done, with Todd preaching patience and floating his perfect vision of a surprise shadow drop where it's going to be a while and then one day will launch. Insiders are confirming that Bethesda's internal target is 2028, worst case 2029 for the Elder Scrolls 6, meaning that we are staring down no new major Bethesda title for a full 6 years since Starfield in 2023. A drought that is only going to seemingly be filled by remasters, Oblivion already out, and apparently Fallout 3 is reportedly getting one as well. Zero progress on the Elder Scrolls 6 beyond a 7-year-old, nearly 8-year-old 30-second E3 2018 mountain teaser that showed nothing but a hill, no title, no setting, no gameplay, no engine, just a corporate illusion designed to justify Microsoft's $7.5 billion acquisition in 2021, where Phil Spencer waved the Elder Scrolls 6 exclusivity flag to silence regulators, all while Bethesda secretly funneled every resource into Starfield's 5-year black hole. The unacceptable truth, as we all know, is that they never really intended to deliver this game soon or anywhere near to the point where they released the trailer. They just kind of needed that shiny carrot to dangle towards Microsoft. As of right now, for the most recent new title, we're stuck with Starfield's loading screens and empty planets, with Bethesda obviously having no plan, no urgency, and ultimately just no respect for the fans who really made them legends in the first place. And it's unfortunate that today we're not celebrating 14 years of Skyrim, but we're instead grieving the unfortunate death of Bethesda's future, the issues that they constantly still seemingly have, this new entire remaster obsession that they're going for, which is completely against what Todd Howard previously said. And if you have been waiting since 2018, still checking for trailers, still believing that this game is going to be coming soon, then I suppose this is your wake-up call. The Elder Scrolls 6 is nowhere near done, and it is the unacceptable truth. Before I do continue, however, if you do enjoy dissecting the nonsense of Bethesda like I do, please be sure to consider subscribing. We're trying to get 10k before the end of the year. Pretty ambitious, but fingers crossed we can get close. My great friend Av Gaming said it best. If you saw a game company release 2 very unpopular games within the span of 10 years, argue with their own fans about the poor state of their game in Starfield, constantly attempt to milk the fans of their own money, especially the amazing creators with their paid mods, has actually resold old titles as a remastered edition at full price, and is estimated to make a sequel to their most popular game of all time maybe 18 years later at this rate, you would most likely think, well, are these guys still in business? Well, no, they're in fact Bethesda, and they are very well and truly in business. Todd emphasized the fact that he wants Elder Scrolls 6 to be perfect in the way he envisions it, and my issue isn't the fact that Todd Howard wants to make a great game or that he's preaching patience in his recent interview where he admitted that the Elder Scrolls 6 is still a long way away. My real concern and sort of problem is the fact that Bethesda dropped a teaser trailer almost 8 years ago now. 8 years ago. And they did this knowing that they weren't going to deliver on this game anytime soon, and they did it anyway, and they didn't do it for the fans. They didn't want to get people excited. They wanted money, and unfortunately, I feel like this hole is just becoming deeper and deeper as years go on, and can they really get out of it? And as of recent, they're not helping themselves whatsoever. It was only a few weeks ago where they were celebrating the anniversary of Fallout, and they decided to put a $150 bundle package together for Fallout New Vegas, which you can go ahead and buy for like $6 on Steam without the bundle. They're then trying to upsell a Fallout 4 Remastered Edition where the only new additions are actually paid mods, which don't even work on launch. they got a consistent pattern here. They're releasing stuff that doesn't work on launch. Oblivion Remastered had a lot of engine issues. Fallout 76, well, we obviously know about the disastrous start that had. And then finally Starfield with the glaring amount of technical issues it had. So you're telling me that the current pattern for Bethesda here is releasing games that don't work on launch, upselling old games for more money at full price, and making nothing new that we haven't seen before. And this pattern isn't going to change until 2029, may I add. There is nothing new or original coming out until 2029. Bethesda's latest formula of remastering titles is just the clearest sign that the Elder Scrolls 6 has destroyed them beyond repair. It's a cynical, low-risk assembly line churning out visual facelifts of 15 to 20-year-old games outsourced to third-party studios like Virtuos, while Bethesda Studio focus on Elder Scrolls 6's endless pre-production phase and Fallout 76's live service tweaks. Oblivion Remastered seemed to be the test run just to see how everything worked out, and even with the Unreal Engine glitches, fans still bought into it because it had the Elder Scrolls name attached to it, despite the price point for a 2006 game with Creation Engine gameplay bottled onto the UE5 visuals. And we know in 2023, when the FTC document showing a Fallout 3 remaster was actually slotted for 2024, now seemingly delayed to 2027, is using the same hybrid engine approach as Oblivion did, where Virtuos handled the graphics while Bethesda basically ported the core systems. And if you are looking forward to a Fallout 3 remaster, then all the power to you. Like, go ahead, enjoy it. I was really excited when the Oblivion remaster came out, and I'm sure that the Fallout 3 remaster will do well, especially with the TV show hype surrounding it. But my issue here is the fact that this is just an easy way out for Bethesda again. It's going completely against Todd Howard's morals as well, where he previously said that he was completely against remastering old titles. Well, where has that gone now? The more and more things I see come out in social media posts regarding Bethesda and the decisions that they're making, it just makes me feel that Todd Howard isn't in control. He's getting so much criticism as of late. Surely this just cannot be him leading the charge with this entire route that Bethesda are taking. Just to track back to the whole Elder Scrolls 6 situation once again, got me thinking that they're going to be releasing this in 2028, 2029, and we saw how outdated Starfield looked in the year of 2023, especially in comparison with its competition. I mean, games even in 2015 like The Witcher 3 looked 10 times better than Starfield's clunky mechanics and lifeless gameplay. Now, can you imagine in 2029 when Elder Scrolls 6 finally releases, and we've already been playing some other massive titles that come out, titles such as The Witcher 4, titles such as GTA 6, and we see how visually incredible and how outstanding they are. When we switch over to the Elder Scrolls 6 and we boot it up for the very first time on that creation engine of Bethesda's, is the game going to be like 5 to 8 years outdated? Are we going to be seeing better games already released this year with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? The expectation and what should realistically happen is the fact that this game should blow these titles out of the water because it's got all of the new technology and it is a more recent release in the year. However, we just can't trust Bethesda to deliver on that. We may as well be playing this title all the way back in 2020. And speaking of expectations, although I can appreciate once again that Todd Howard is saying he wants to make the game as good as it possibly can be, he is setting unrealistic expectations among a fan base who has been waiting for a new title, and when it releases will be 18 years of waiting. We're going to be expecting handcrafted worlds, incredible stories. Every single corner of this map should have something unique and different about it. None of the procedural generation shortcuts that we saw taken in Starfield. No more Radiant quests just to keep players busy for lazy writing. Back when Bethesda released Morrowind for the very first time, they were the gold standard. They set the blueprint and they pushed the industry forward in the RPG space. Now, with the Elder Scrolls 6, we need them to do this again if they want to stay relevant. The only issue is, and I'll tell you this right now, I'll make a 2029 prediction all the way back in 2025, and that is the fact that they won't. They won't push the industry forward because they will take every single shortcut they can. They will try and give you those Radiant quests. They will try and procedurally generate everything they can exactly like they did in Starfield with 1000 planets of nothing. As well as that, they're going to give you a fancy little fun building mechanic where you can build and customize something just to make up for the lack of narrative depth that they've lost over the years as a company. Don't worry that our quests absolutely suck and there's no emotional life between any NPCs whatsoever. you can build a brand new naval ship in The Elder Scrolls 6. Because as their lead writer Emil Pagliarulo said, story doesn't matter because people will just rip up the script and make paper aeroplanes out of it. Bethesda are the worst of the worst in the gaming space as of right now. That is my honest opinion. From all of the fantastic games they previously made, it is unfortunately tarnishing their legacy. Bethesda will upsell you a product that you've seen 10 years ago and try and give you a premium version. They will rip you off, they will make you pay for paid mods, they will give you mediocre content, and overall are a just terrible company. In my mind, Bethesda ended after Fallout 4. If you just mentally check out there, then you can appreciate the body of work that they've had before that. So next time they try and upsell you a remastered game or a premium edition version of a previous title, please just consider before buying it what you are really contributing to, and that is just honestly mediocrity. And yes, I can appreciate if you enjoy Bethesda and love their titles and content, but just know this, that they hate you.